Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Rich Guzman and welcome to Ace and Rich Freedom by Design. My name is Rich Guzman, this is Anastasia, and we're here to answer some questions for you. We actually have a question from a gentleman. He basically was asking this.
Hey, Ace and Rich, how can I go from a poor background mindset to a rich mindset?
Okay, well, this is kind of a tough one because sometimes it's hard for us to break old habits. And, the old saying goes, old habits die hard. Well, here's the thing about changing your mindset to more successful mindset, more of a wealthy mindset. I struggled with this in the beginning because the way I grew up and everything,
I did
the way my
too.
family grew up, because we didn't grow up with a lot of money. Money doesn't grow on trees, and all those kind of things that you've heard. I basically started educating myself with books, audio, recordings on changing my thought process, how I thought about things, and to the point that I hired my own coach who is wealthy to help me, coach my mindset. And here's the funny thing. You think you want to learn how to get wealthy by actually hiring a wealthy coach. That's not the way it works. They actually, the way it works is they really find out more about you to help you change your thought process, what's going on in here. Because there's a lot going on inside, and you may not know what's going on. You think you do, but you may not know until you actually, hire a good coach. And they can really break it out of you. Let me tell you something, guys. It really takes effort to really change that mindset. Because we all have our struggles, okay? We all have our struggles. And what's your opinion on this, honey?
Well, I actually have went through this definitely a lot of times when I was transitioning from the employee mindset to an entrepreneur. I never knew what a real entrepreneur thought like until I met Rich. And the thing is that I came from New Jersey, the ghetto. How much poor, broke, minded can you get? I mean, that's from T-Town. I'm from that
Trenton.
way. I was born in the ghetto. So the thing is, we were surrounded from a lot of poverty people around in the culture. Everybody, just didn't believe that you're destined to do great things, and dreams don't exist, and stop chasing rainbows and things like that. Money don't grow on trees.
Well, that's psychologically damaging.
It was very psychologically. So what I did was, I can share with you what I did was I actually reached out and found an outlet. And being a bookworm and a nerd, what I did was, well, I'm a hot nerd actually.
You had to say that in video, didn't you?
I had to.
Okay, come on.
But you know what? Just getting back, I just want to love to make you guys laugh. We're just chilling over here. So what I like to do is I go to the local library and I found my outlet, and I found books on personal development and how to, think like the wealthy do. What kind of habits do the wealthy people do with their time? How do they manage their time? What do they like to do for fun?
Absolutely,
those are the kinds of things you want to learn about. And, if you don't want to go to the library all the time, you can change it up. You can go to your local bookstore and, look in the magazine rack and look in the aisle and look at those success magazines and Forbes and, those smart money magazines. They have really good content in there that you can actually read, and that's another thing which is great about blogging is there are a lot of people that are writing about the same stuff that you just asked your question about.
Yes.
There are other experiences that can probably help you even further, but what we recommend is personal development all the way. If you want to go from a poor, broken mentality to a wealthy mentality, you got to do what the wealthy mentality type people do.
Exactly.
And that means that they do things differently that the unsuccessful people are not willing to do. And that's one thing you taught me.
Yeah, and recently we were talking about this, about, serving more and giving more. And that comes from that wealthy mindset as well.
Right.
If you look at the commonality, the common, I don't know the word, but I can't say it right now. Commonality, I think it is. Basically, what happens is, if you look at all the leaders out there, it's all the same thing. They all give value, and they give, to the community, and the community as far as that marketing niche, or just the community itself as a whole. And what happens is, the more that they give, the more that they receive. But here's the thing: it's like they don't expect anything. They just give it because they have that integrity. And that's so important, guys, when you have integrity.
Right.
Myself, what I do, and I recommend, this is what I did in the beginning, before I hired a coach. I was reading a book before I went to bed, and I also was listening to like audio stuff on my phone. Like every night, I'll put some audio stuff on my phone, and it'll basically have like, different leaders talking about different things, and it'll get in my brain and in my mind. And what'll happen is when I wake up in the morning, it's in my subconscious as I'm sleeping. I wake up in the morning, it's like the first thing I'm thinking about is like positive mindset, wealthy mindset, right?
Yeah.
And another thing I want to share with you, and this video might be a little bit long, is because this is a very important topic.
It's a very important topic.
It's how I've managed to grow success in my life is that I decided to see things there that are not there before it even happens. And people go, well, how is that even possible? Well, because if you can't have a visual aspect of, something visual in your mind, if you don't see that, you'll never, it'll never manifest, right? It'll never come together. But if you really believe in it so strong, like every ounce of your being, every cell in your body, and you can visualize it and see it before you actually even, before it materializes, believe it or not, it's going to happen. I mean, if you're passionate and you really see it in your mind to the point that you can almost taste it, it's going to happen. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be so focused and so clear about that vision that you're going to basically take those necessary steps. And as you take those steps and those failures are happening along the way, you're going to be able to take those pitfalls like they're nothing, like they don't even exist. Because your mind is so strong about the outcome before it even happens. Does that make sense? That's how I think, and that's how I make things happen.
Yeah.
On the internet with our business and things like that. And I've always shared stuff with that because sometimes, we're not perfect. There's going to be days that you're down. Some days she's down, I lift her up. And some days that I'm down, she lifts me up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a two-way street. And YouTube, powerful resource, guys. I still go to YouTube, still to this day.
I do too.
And I watch videos on different leaders and things like that.
Les Brown is a good one.
Yeah, like the company I'm part of, I love Jay Kubisek's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Up, with Jay Kubisek, and man, the information that is shared is so profound and so powerful that it will just change, literally, will change your mindset if you stay on that path.
And you have to get into the right community. If you feel like where you're at in your environment right now, the energy around you is just not fitting for you, then you need to get out of that element and you need to put yourself in a different environment, because sometimes that could contribute to your success as well. As a matter of fact, that's what happened with me. I moved from one state to another to change my environment, and that's when I started making money. That's when I started having success and doing things differently with my son and with Rich. So what I'm saying to you is, find that community support group that you need to be a part of. Find podcasts that you like to help you, with developing new skill sets and new habits of success, that things will help you think like, wealthy people do.
Yeah, because it's really not it's not your fault how you're thinking. It's just over time your brain or your mind has been programmed to think a certain way, and it happens on autopilot without you even realizing it, right? It's just programming that's going on, and you can be going about your daily life, and you're being programmed on automatic, and you don't realize it. So over the years, your brain, creates this pattern. And I'm gonna get a little bit more serious about this, because this is really important. This is how I managed to change my thought process. It's like your brain is wired in a certain way that if you keep thinking this certain way subconsciously and you don't realize it because all the programming that's happening in the past, what's going to happen is you're going to automatically do things that are not really healthy for you as far as a wealthy mindset, because you're already pre-programmed and your brain already is firing a certain way and is addicted to that habit. That makes sense? So when you actually are looking for a way out to think differently, and you got to do it for a while consistently over and over and over, so your brain will fire a new association in your mind, so that way you know exactly how to really think for the future. I hope that really makes sense.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah, that's some really deep stuff.
That was awesome.
I had the privilege to talk on stage in Vegas and really mentored, over 1,000 people in Vegas. It was actually at the Rio. It was incredible, and we had a blast and everything. And that's when I met my coach, and I hired him, and that's when I spent a few days with him, and he taught me a lot about myself, and it really helped me get over some things that I was dealing with. That I know that if you guys hire a coach, it will help you too. Okay, and you guys will know my coach. I'll give it out there as Jeffrey Combs. He is my coach and helped me dramatically, and I'm sure that he'll help you too. Okay. So with that being said, guys, I know this video went a little bit long, 9 minutes, but I felt this was a very important topic to really talk to you guys about, because not really is discussed on, like, how to really change that pattern, you know, in your brain. It takes a little while to get the habit changed, approximately about 26 or 27 days. But you gotta keep doing that for a little while. All right, so guys, see you on another video very soon, and take care.